Hi there and welcome back to another NJS instructional video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to mount these Yakima roof rail crossbars for your Isuzu MU-X. And the principles shown in this video will apply to most makes and models. Now this particular vehicle is a 2023 Isuzu MU-X and it's an LSU spec, so it does include the roof rails across the roof of the vehicle. So the kit consists of our K1201 vehicle fitting kit. Now this will be different depending on the vehicle type. We also have our heavy duty leg kit by 4. And we also have our TrimHD roof rack crossbars by 2. Now these are the specific mounts that suit the rails on our particular vehicle. And it also comes with a tool. And this clamp here, when we tighten that, will clamp onto those roof rails. Which consists of 4 of these heavy duty leg mounts. So we'll start by preparing our roof mounts to suit our specific vehicle. So first up, we'll undo this key to allow that plastic cover to come off. Now the next step is to push this mechanism out from the middle, just like that, so you push it backwards. Then we have to remove these locking pins and you can just slide them out with your fingers, like that. There's one, and there's a second. And then that allows bottom base to simply slide out. Then we have to grab one of our custom rail mounts, like this. And then we're going to back off this screw. You undo it enough to allow this bracket to go forwards and give you access to that Allen's screw just underneath. Now something to be mindful about, and it caught me out, and I think this might be a bit of a manufacturing flaw, is you've got a space for a nut here, and I've noticed that 2 out of the 4 mounts don't have a nut. So you'll see that there's a nut on the inside there, whereas on this one, there is none. So I've had to actually take out this screw and put a nut inside, and unfortunately it's not a nylock nut like this is, so I'm just going to use some Loctite when I do assemble it all together. So I'll show you how I did that, just in case this happens to you as well. At least as a workaround. So that'll give us access to put a nut in there. Now the nut is a very tight fit, so what I would suggest is using that screw you removed, get the nut, which is just an M6 nut, and just put it mostly on the thread like that. And then grab your mount and kind of feed it in. Now that's not enough, so we'll grab a little hammer and we'll just force it in. Now once the nut is all the way in, just simply unscrew that screw that helped us to guide it in place. So now our nut is in, which is what it should have been to start off with. So now we've put our nut back in and we've done up the screw. Now unfortunately the spring and this mechanism did fall out, so it took me a little bit to get that back in. So now it's time to marry up the base to this. And simply the 2 components will slide in together and that screw will then screw into this point here. Like that. Now before we start assembling the 2 components, I will place some Loctite thread locker on this particular fastener here. So when we do marry it up, it'll also bind into the nut. And because we don't have a nylock nut in there, we've had to add our own. That'll just give it that extra bit of security. And when you do push it together, you want to make sure that that edge and that edge go in to these slots over here. So if you're wondering why it may not be going in, make sure those 2 parts are aligned. Like that. There you go. And that should make it a lot easier. You just push it in like that and try and get it as flush as possible. Then using our Allen's key provided, we'll get back into that screw before and start tightening that up as much as we can. I think the instructions say about 3 Newton meters. I like to do it tight like this. Check the alignment once again, make sure that's okay. Push it in case we have to, like that, and then do a little bit more from a tightening perspective. Then we grab 2 of these little screws here, and these will go on the side there and there respectively, where the original pins once were. So you simply push it in as much as you can and grab your tool and then start screwing like that, and then as tight as you can again. There. And the same with the other side. Done. So that completes one of our mounts. So we'll do that for the other 3 as well. Something also to be mindful of is undo this screw enough so it allows you to push it in, and then this mechanism here will also move with it. Now this is really important. So for our next step where we slide on the roof bar itself, which will track in here and lock into there, by pushing that screw in, it allows you to make those adjustments left and right. And with our roof crossbar, which is a bit too long to fit all on camera, we do have to remove the end caps on either side, and that's simply by undoing that Phillips head there. And we also have a measuring guide, which is very handy when it comes to securing those mounts and getting them symmetrical. We do have a forward arrow to indicate the forward direction of the vehicle, and that's how it's meant to be secured. We also have this additional rubber, which is also found on either side of our roof crossbar on the underside. So this is a spare, and these 2 will cut and trim to size, and this will be used as a backup. And we'll remove that rubber because we don't need it right now. Something important is these part numbers and their position indicators. So this is in the instructions. So FR, FL, RR, RL, just simply standing for front right, front left, and so forth. Now what you do have to keep an eye out is the inside of our bracket. So it says spot it with your iron. We have this number here. So in this case, this ends with 54A, and then 54A indicates the left-hand side. So we have to mount this to the left-hand side of our roof bar, like that. And pushing that button in allows you to move that back and forth. Without that button pushed in, you cannot move that back and forth. So now with both legs mounted to our roof crossbar, this is a time where we have to do our left-right adjustment and also make sure that our roof rails on the vehicle, which will sit in here, will then be centered with the roof crossbar. Now I know for this particular vehicle, the roof center line is 900. So by simply moving the mount to the 900 position, which is approximately there, we're not going to tighten up that screw. We'll leave it loose as it is, but that is locked in for now. And we can make some minor adjustments if we need to when on the vehicle. Now, I recommend that you do a pre-check on the vehicle, and it might take 2 people to get your crossbar centered, simply because that screw has to be pushed in from either side in order for you to move your crossbar left or right. Now I'm going to line up this bolt here with the door jamb gap here on both sides. And then I'm simply going to tighten up this screw here. Now make sure your mount is sitting nice and flush. Now you'll see that our foot here isn't sitting quite nicely, whereas on the other end it is sitting well. So we have to push in this button and you'll see how it drops like that. So then we keep tightening this fastener up. But what that has done now is it actually has pushed off our roof crossbar from a symmetrical position. So this is where it's probably a good idea to get someone else to help you and push in the button on the other side to make sure you can get your crossbar symmetrical with the vehicle. Now, as you are tightening up this fastener here, just be mindful that the corner of this bracket doesn't necessarily line up with the corner of this roof rail. So if that's the case, just lift up the roof bar like that as you tighten it up, and that'll help ensure that as it clamps, it'll clamp on to the actual corner of that roof rail. There you go. So now our corner is matching up with the corner or the radius of our roof rail. And there is still a little bit of play because we haven't tightened up this fastener all the way yet, and we won't tighten up this top one until we're 100% confident that our roof rail is symmetrical with the vehicle. So just be mindful, in this case we're aligning this fastener with the door jamb of the vehicle. Now in the instructions they might recommend that you offset it forwards or backwards. It doesn't really matter as long as we've engaged the actual metal part of our roof rail, which we have, and we'll install our second one somewhere over here. And that center to center distance is also not as critical. However, Yakima recommend, I think it's about 810 millimeters from the center of this crossbar to the rear. So we'll try and match up 810 for this particular vehicle also. And what we've done to the left-hand side, we'll also do to the right-hand side here as well. Now, I'm not going to tighten these screws all the way up because we will be removing this crossbar. We still have a little bit of finishing work to do on the underside seals here and also those end caps. Now with the crossbar removed, we'll remove the leg mounts from either side and we'll then cut to size our rubber strips, which we'll insert on the underside slots there. We'll place one of the rubber strips there, and then we'll cut that to size, and then we'll also do the same on this side. Now when cutting the length of the outside rubber strip, I recommend that you place it in, and also you have to account for the length of this, which will slide in roughly there. So using this as a marker, we'll just grab our knife and just mark the rubber there, and that way we know where to cut. And I just secured the screw before so that components don't come apart, because they do come apart like that, and also that pin comes out. Slide that in underneath like that. However, we will do the rubber on the other side before we lock this into place. And we'll just do the same on the opposite side. There, slide this in like that. Then we can turn it around and do up that screw, and this side is now complete. Like that. So we'll do the same on the opposite side. So now the other side has also been completed. So we didn't have enough length to cover the hole, so we just used a bit of leftover length to cover the rest. Now that the roof bars have been set, we haven't yet done those fasteners to tighten up the leg mounts yet, so we'll mount those to the vehicle, get our position right, that way we can make some finer minor adjustments should we need to, and then tighten up those screws once and for all. Now with our first bar securely in place, we have mounted our second bar 810 millimeters behind. And I've just taken the measurement from center of fastener here to center of fastener there. And then we just grab our end caps and put them in position and then lock them with the key, like that. So there you have it, that's how you can mount the Yakima roof rail crossbars on your particular vehicle. I hope you found this video informative. Don't forget to like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell notification icon. Thanks for watching.